make sure you do the bell work. It can be at the beginning of your notes, it can be at the end, it can be on a post-it on the side. But if you want full credit for your notes, you gotta have the bell work questions and answers, or answers in complete sentences. We're gonna talk about the answers right now, but you gotta have your own answers. So in the chat box, tell me, what is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory? These are vocabulary words. We've had hypothesis every week for the past 2 or 3 weeks. What do you guys think? What is a hypothesis? What is a theory? What does a theory have that a hypothesis does not? So a hypothesis, I would say, is made by observations. I don't think I would use the words backed up. And then what's a theory? What does a theory actually have that a hypothesis does not? A theory is backed up by science. What kind of science? Evidence. No, a theory does have evidence to support it. Viviana, you're backwards. A theory is backed up by experimental evidence. Yes, good, Kenry. Experiments. A theory has a lot of experiments and data and evidence to support it. And then a hypothesis is an explanation for just some observations that an individual scientist makes. Good. What is a theory that you guys have heard of? You guys heard of any theories? Any scientific theories? The Big Bang Theory, good, Naved. The Big Bang is a theory. It's not just a show. Possibilism, I'm not sure what that is. Is that a scientific theory? I've never heard of that one. Okay, good. Anybody else? Maybe not, Demetrius, but you've still heard of the Big Bang Theory, right? Is there any other theories that you have heard of? The quantum theory, good, Kenry. Good, those are all good examples. Gravity is actually a theory. The cell theory, the theory of evolution, those are all theories. Make sure you have one of them written down for your bell work. All right, your essential question, how is scientific knowledge generated and validated? So the first half of the scientific method, we talk about how scientific knowledge was generated between the observations and the hypothesis and the experiments. And then the second half, this is how scientific knowledge is validated or proven, basically. This is your data and conclusions and theories. So, to review, a hypothesis, scientists design investigations or experiments based on testable questions they've developed. These questions list specific things that will be involved in their investigation. And the hypothesis is a statement that predicts the outcome of that investigation. Example, if we do this one thing, then this other thing will happen. You guys all should have practiced writing hypotheses. They should have all started with the word if and had the word then in the middle somewhere. And it's a cause and effect relationship. But this comes before the experiment. This comes, scientists make a set of observations about some sort of phenomena or event. They ask some questions about it. They develop a hypothesis to be able to test. And your experiment is the testing of that. Hypothesis examples. Like I said, one of the most important characteristics of a hypothesis is that it needs to be testable. You need to be able to run tests on it. So if a runner drinks water and runs in a race, then they will run faster than runners who drink sports drink. Can, in the chat box, tell me yes or no. Can you form an experiment from this hypothesis? Yeah, that's easy. This is a good hypothesis because it is easily testable. You can run tests on it. You get two groups of runners, you give one of them water, you give one of them a sports drink, Gatorade, Powerade, something, and you see who runs faster. Easy, easy experiment. A theory, on the other hand, is one of the most controversial terms that we've looked at so far in science in general. It shouldn't be, because people don't understand what a theory is. People don't realize that the scientific meaning of the word theory is different than the way people use it every day. The way people use it in everyday language is the wrong way to use it. A theory is more like a scientific law than a hypothesis. A theory is an explanation of a set of related observations or events based upon proven hypotheses and verified multiple times by different groups of researchers. So all of these researchers came up with a hypothesis, ran different investigations and experiments, collected data, and that data is all evidence to support a certain theory. One scientist alone cannot create a theory. If they're individual scientists, they only create hypotheses for their individual experiment. An experimental scientist, a theory can never be proved, it can only be disproved. That's why they call scientists the skeptical people, because they go around poking holes and disproving different statements. Their goal is to disprove things. They run tests. And if those tests disprove something, then that theory goes out the window. If something only becomes a theory if it can't be disproven. If all of the evidence supports that theory, then you actually prove it. Laws are statements of fact meant to explain in concise terms an action or a set of actions. They're generally accepted to be true and universal and can sometimes be expressed in terms of a single mathematical equation. There's a lot of famous scientists that laws are named after. Isaac Newton has Newton's laws. Einstein made laws. But laws only cover a single action or maybe a small set of actions. And then laws versus theories. The biggest difference is a law governs a single action, like I just said. The theory explains an entire group of related phenomena or occurrences or events. Alex, I changed that the second week. I haven't given you 15 minutes in 3 weeks now. You got to have the notes done when you come to class. Or you can take them from the recording that I'll post later. All right. Told you the notes were short today. Assignment to get your daily attendance quizzes. Make sure you're taking them so I can mark you present. This week, you need to check Infinite Campus for your missing assignments. This is the last week to make up weekly assignments from the past 5 weeks. You have an Ed puzzle on theories. And then you have your chapter 1 exam. Do not open it until you are ready. There is a timer. Have all of your notes with you to help. And pay attention to the timer. If you open it and let it time out, you're going to get a 0. Desiree, there's a sentence missing from the last slide. On your notes.
It's because when it's saying the biggest difference between a law and a theory is, after that it says that a theory is what it is, and then there's a blank. But that there was no yeah, I just
Okay, you can go back and do this one. You can watch the recording and do it from up here. So this is the one you should have. So everybody take a screenshot of it or however you want to do it. There's the biggest difference and then there's 2 bullet points. Make sure you have it from here. It should be the same on yours. I don't know why it's not.